Hello YouTube world, welcome to Parkway Classics and another video on the Honda Ridgeline. So some months back I put up a video entitled Why I Bought a Honda Ridgeline Over the Competition, and it was solely my opinion and my opinion only as to why I chose this over the other field of mid-size trucks and even full-size trucks. So I've had hundreds of comments from like-minded people who either bought a Ridgeline for the same reason or are thinking about buying a Ridgeline new or used, and they just have questions and comments, and just overwhelmingly positive. But again, you get the haters. The haters drop in with all kinds of negative comments, and I can even tell by the comments that they really didn't watch the video. They just have to weigh in, and that makes you wonder, who has all this free time to do that? I mean, I watch a lot of YouTube videos on automotive and power sports, and if I disagree with somebody, I just move on. I don't have time to leave negative comments. So what I'm going to do, and I actually left some details, quirks, and features out of the previous video, so we'll do a walk around today and show you some more of the reasons why I bought a Ridgeline and why you might want to as well. But before I do that, I do have to get this off my chest. I'll read the latest comments from somebody who didn't really watch the video, who said, because you want a truck that sits on a car frame that you really can't haul or tow anything with, it's basically a car that has a 3-foot bed. That's not a truck. You should have just bought a real truck or got a Subaru Outback. So ha ha ha. And that wasn't enough. He had to comment back and say, oh, by the way, that cable's going to break off your tailgate and your quad's going to fall out and roll down the road. So I had one right before that that said, hey, would never buy one of these. It's got a CVT transmission. And obviously he didn't watch the video because I talked about how buttery smooth the ZF 9-speed automatic is. So with that said, let's do a walk around. I'll show you some upgrades I've done since the last video. And again, a few quirks and features, as Doug DeMuro would say, as to why I bought the Honda Ridgeline. So let me grab the camera and we'll take a walk around here. Some of you may have seen a previous video where I talked about the wheel upgrade. I did take the stock wheels off, and these are actually Honda Passport 20-inch wheels. The diameter is virtually the same. I think maybe a ½ inch difference. It doesn't affect the speedometer at all, but I just liked the way those wheels looked. They have kind of a Rivian-esque look about them, and it does handle better with a slightly lower profile tire. And I can't say that it's helped the gas mileage any. It's probably hurt the mileage a mile and a half a gallon. And if you watch one of the latest videos from Engineering Explained on YouTube, he'll explain exactly why, in scientific terms, the larger rims may hurt your mileage. Anyway, so there are essentially 3 models in the Ridgeline: the RT base model, RTL, which is this one, and the RTLE, which is the top of the line until you go to the Black Edition. I settled on the middle of the road because I thought it had the best bang for the buck, so on and so forth. Let's see here. One thing I've added recently, and I think they come with it now, is an actual ground post right there. I got that from Camping Randy's store, but it's a Honda OEM part. It's just, if you're ever trying to jump start the battery and you want to hook the ground, the first time I did it, I was clamping on the metal here, and I don't want to scratch the metal and make it rusty. So that's a good add-on. And again, I think it's standard now. As we walk around, I added, window visors just to keep rain out and whatnot. Back to the standard features and benefits, though, the RTL, which is middle of the road, is about $3,000 more than the base model RT. And for that $3,000, you are getting a sunroof, which is nice. I don't have to have it. But the big upgrade is, for that $3,000 more, you're getting heated leather seats, power seats on both sides for that matter. You're getting a sliding rear window, which I had never thought about getting on a pickup truck before, and now that I have it, I use it every time I drive the truck in fair weather. I think it's a great option. So yeah, for that $3,000, you're getting a lot of bang for the buck, really, I think. The next level up, RTLE, is another $3,000, and for that extra $3,000, you get a heated steering wheel, charger pad in the console, and you get in-bed sound, which I really didn't care about, and you do get a power outlet back here, which is nice. So anyway, back to the bed part of the Ridgeline. I did opt to put a roll-up tonneau cover on. In my life, for what I do and what I haul, it's just easier for me to deal with than a 3-section rigid tonneau. And looking into the bed, that is a 4-foot wide piece of OSB board laying there, and you'll notice there's actually about 1.5 inches to spare between the wheel wells. Not all trucks allow you to do that. If you're pulling a full sheet or stack of sheets, it's nice to have them lay down flat. You know, they are going to hang out over the back, and you can tie them off to the trailer hitch or whatever, but that's a great feature. Let's close this up. I do use that little stowage compartment right there for ratchet straps and tie downs. And as mentioned before, and you've seen my videos on loading ATVs, you've got upper and lower tie down hooks in the back, in the front, and so you shouldn't be wanting for them. And of course, you've got, I'm going to close the tailgate here. You've got the dual function tailgate that drops down like a normal truck or opens up like a car door. And when it opens up like a car door, your in-bed lights come on. It exposes a step bumper, which makes it easy to step up and into the truck. And of course, you all know, or you probably should know by now if you've watched the videos, you've got the in-bed storage, which in my case is full. I've got cargo net, all the emergency roadside equipment that I need if I need to get rescued or rescue somebody else, lawn chairs, and on and on. The only downside that you got to think about is your spare tire and jack is inside the trunk. So if, for example, you were hauling a load of mulch or a load of bricks and you were going to go some distance and you're worried about having a flat, you don't want to have to shovel all the mulch out or unload all the bricks to get to that tire. So get it out ahead of time. Just a word to the wise. And as I close it up here, I've got my nice Ridgeline graphic here from Camping Randy's store, giving him a plug, and so on. You will notice, actually, I should have left this open, as we walk around, you'll see some what looks like dirt residue. It's actually oil residue. I oil spray undercoated this when I first got it, and actually on a Ridgeline, it's easy to pull the bed sides off. There's just Torx screws, and I took the bed sides off and completely oil spray undercoated it inside before I put the tonneau cover rails on. It's a little more work to get to it once you've done that. So yeah, and after the 2021 upgrade, or refresh I should say, they put the dual exhausts on, which sound great, and I think they look great. I actually custom made, I call it a bumper basher. It's a receiver filler, but it sticks out beyond the bumper. So if somebody hits me in a parking lot or comes up too fast behind me, they're going to hit that before they hit my bumper. I can't buy those in a store, though. You're going to make them yourself. Anyway, going to the inside, a few things that everybody doesn't necessarily think of, and I wouldn't have either, but I've watched reviews recently on some other trucks, and some of the stuff you take for granted. For example, map pockets on the back of the seats. I use them. I've actually got some plastic bags stuffed in these. Some trucks only offer one. Some trucks offer none. There's one new mid-size truck out now that doesn't even offer a fold-down armrest in the back seat. And if you ever have passengers in the back seat, you might want a fold-down armrest, and you might want the cup holders that are in that fold-down armrest as well. And again, that's just something that you wouldn't necessarily think about. I think all trucks in this category, except some quad cabs as opposed to crew cabs, would have fold-up seats. I'm going to walk around the other side and show you the one that I've got up so that I don't have to fold this one up. So with it up, there's all kinds of storage under there. I haven't bought, there is a storage tray you can get for under there, and I haven't bought it yet, but that's a good feature to have. Plenty of leg room. These seats are back. These front seats are back right now, but you know, any adult passengers I've had back here before have had no problems with leg room or especially headroom. There's great headroom in these things. And of course, you do have heat and AC ventilation controls in the back. You don't have USB chargers, and yes, unless you bump up to the RTL package, okay? Let's see, what else may I be missing here? Super easy to get to things. I just changed the oil filter, or excuse me, the air filter, and it's just a couple clips you pop and easy to get to. No big deal there. Oil's easy to change on this as well. But let's go inside, talk about some of the real big features and benefits. So as we come inside, the infotainment center on these is decent. It's not the best, but it's not bad either. It's a good size. You can change the color on the display. Center instrumentation cluster gives you pretty much everything you need. I don't think I can scroll too much through. I can scroll through the onboard computer. It gives you tire pressure monitors. Now it's saying hood open because hood's open, door open. What I can't get to here is my average miles per gallon, which it'll give you as well, and distance to oil change. But hey, Honda, you're telling people distance to oil change is every 10,000 miles. And folks, you shouldn't do that. I don't know who would wait that long. If you plan on keeping a car a long time, don't wait 10,000. Do it every 4,000 or 5,000 miles, okay? I do like the fact on the Honda that you've got manual controls for your heating and AC and whatnot. You don't have to go into a touchscreen menu. I like Tesla. I love the vehicles, but everything's touchscreen menu, and I do not like that. Not that I would buy a Tesla at this moment. We're talking about Honda Ridgeline, but I do like the manual controls. Now, one big feature that a lot of people have called out that they don't like, that I didn't like at first, was the fact that these have got the push button shifter on them. There's no longer a stalk and a manual control, but frankly, the stalk with a manual control has not actually been a mechanical linkage in probably a couple decades. They've been electronic controlled for years anyway, so going to a button shift is a natural progression. But a big feature here is that you can put the vehicle in drive or reverse, whatever the case might be. Let's say drive, you get to your destination, and all you have to do at that point is turn the engine off. It automatically goes into park, so that you don't have to go to park, then hit your off. It's all basically one stop right there, which I think is cool. It has made me lazy though, and I've actually gotten out of some rental cars where I just pushed the button. I Dodge Durango recently. I pushed the button, got out, and the car started rolling back because I hadn't physically shifted it. Even though it had a stalk shifter, which should be electronic, they don't have that feature. The other really great feature with Honda, and I kind of take this for granted. Let me just shift and open the console here, which is quite large, is it has auto walk-away locking. Again, not something I was shopping for, but I ended up getting. And before I walk away and let the car lock on me, one other feature I want to show you is the Ridgeline has got fold-down armrests, which are kind of minivan-esque, but they're so great, so comfortable, and I think the 2024 model is going to lose them. I know the Pilot did. So again, hey Honda, that was a great idea. And even ratchets, I don't know why you took it out. So if we close the doors, it would normally beep. Oh, it's not beeping because the other door is open over here, I think. Oh, let's see here. It didn't beep on auto walk-away lock, and I think because the hood's open. So my bad there. But anyway, let me put the camera back down here for a minute. Anyway, that's kind of my synopsis on some of the quirks, features, and good parts about the Honda Ridgeline. Again, I bought it because I had to think about how I'm going to use a truck. 99% of the time, I'm commuting to work and back, and I want a smooth, quiet ride, and I wanted a more SUV-like ride. I was going to buy a full-size pickup. I tested a couple 1500 series pickups, and just realized I didn't want to have to park that behemoth every day or a couple times a week. I just didn't need that big a pickup. I'm not a contractor. I'm not off-roading. Just don't need that big a pickup. Once every 2 months, I haul an ATV and we go riding. Every once a year, I haul mulch. It's just not that often. And so a lot of people buy big pickups because they think they're cool, and no problem. That's your decision to make. But if you want a smooth, quiet, car-like SUV type ride and a low step up as well, it's a body off, or it's a unibody, not a body on frame. So you're going to have that lower step up. The trade-off you make, and something that I'm not real crazy about, my camera's crooked here, I'm going to straighten it a little bit. The trade-off you make also is that the Ford Maverick, other similar mid-size trucks are front-wheel drive platform. I typically am not a fan of a front-wheel drive platform, but Honda's is pretty bulletproof. Got a ZF 9-speed transmission in it, which is buttery smooth, and that's something you got to settle on. There's no torque steer. The all-wheel drive system is phenomenal in these things. So again, I'm happy I bought it. I've had it for almost 2 years and 22,000 miles. I would probably do it again. The only other downside, and again, I prefer any vehicle that's a timing chain based engine. Honda's still timing belt. They're old school, and you're going to have to spend a good chunk of dough, around 100,000 miles, to change that timing belt. But otherwise, a lot of features and benefits. A lot of people have always said Honda gives you just what you need and nothing that you don't. And yeah, there's some features it could have and should have for that money that it doesn't, like a compass, Honda. But overall, there's a lot in the package that you get. There's a lot of bang for the buck. I had one guy comment recently, hey, I'm probably going to buy a Ford F-150 because for the money, you know, I can get a Ford F-150 for what I can get a Ridgeline for. You're not going to get a Ford F-150 with a sunroof, a leather interior, heated seats, power seats, bed liner, which you don't have to spring for. Oh, and trailer hitch and trailer wiring. It all comes standard on this truck at about $43,000. You're going to spend at least 10 grand more. And at the time I was shopping in 2022, I was going to be pushing $60,000 to buy a full-size pickup with the same features that I got for around 43. So again, those are my reasons. I'm not telling anybody that you ought to buy one as opposed to anything else, but there are compelling reasons why you might want a Ridgeline versus something else. And those are my reasons. And so I hope you agree. I hope you like the video. Like and subscribe. I'll put up more content as time goes on that talks about cars, ATVs, bikes, all the stuff that I like. And hopefully you do too. So until the next time, thanks for watching.